Hey everyone, welcome back to CK Cycles. Well, in the first video of this series, I completed the vertical supports for the luggage rack that I am creating for my '89 Honda NX-250. It was time to move on to the horizontal plate or the base plate of the rack. This was my first attempt, kind of my first prototype. I wanted interlocking pieces that would then index on and sit on the vertical supports. This looked pretty good, but I did mess up a couple of my measurements here, so it didn't quite fit correctly. This is my second attempt, similar locking pads, but with some indexing grooves here, so it could fit onto the vertical supports. And this felt much better. Well, I just realized I had it backwards. The additional grooves on the back of the plate here are for an extension plate, since I realized this plate was much too short. This was my first extension plate, and I liked the design, but it did seem to be a little bit too short. I needed a little bit more length. This was the second extension piece that I created and mocked up, and I like this length a lot better. In taking a look at the profile, I saw that my vertical extensions here went a little bit too long, so that would have to be corrected in my final version. But I was happy with the height and how the luggage rack seemed to be in line with the seat, just in case my luggage or bags were a little bit bigger than the rack. Since it would take some time to print up the actual rack in a heavier density, I thought I would glue this one up and get it fully installed on the bike and give it a test to see how it would go. Here I'm using some epoxy that sets in 5 minutes, and it says that it has full cure within or at 1 hour. I thought I would give this a try to see if it would be strong enough to hold my luggage rack together. The two pieces fit nicely together, and I had just enough epoxy and just enough time left to glue on the base plate extension piece. A little masking tape here to hold everything nicely together. And then I also held down the plate with a piece of angle iron here just to make sure it was as flat as possible while the epoxy cured. Once the base plate was cured, I epoxied it onto the vertical supports. After a few days, I decided to give the luggage rack a try. Here I'm going to strap down about 24 pounds of weight and give it a test ride. I figured 24 pounds was a good test weight, plus it was the dumbbells that I had sitting around, and I don't plan on putting much more than this on the back of the bike anyways. With everything strapped down securely, it was time to go for a spin. My parameters for a successful test was to see if the luggage rack would fail utterly, leaving my weights and the camera, which was clamped to the rack, on the side of the road. It should be noted that this is just the prototype rack that only has 10% infill. Everything was looking and feeling good on the smooth pavement, so I thought I would move to a bumpier gravel road. I sought out some washboard bumps in the road to see if I could get some good vibration and bouncing going. As you can see here, my camera angle began to shift. I noticed this and was afraid that the luggage rack was starting to fail. When I stopped the bike to check, nope, it was just my camera mount had come loose a little bit and shifted the angle of the camera. So with the camera adjusted, I got back to the ride. I decided to give the luggage rack one final test, and the test, riding through my yard where there are some serious bumps. I thought that this would be a great final test for the rack, and it performed very well. Overall, I'm pretty excited at how this rack is doing, given that it is only 10% infill. I'm planning on using at least 45% infill for the final luggage rack as I print it. I'll move on to that in the next episode, and I'll do a full assembly video and full video of mounting it to the bike. So, this is Chris for CK Cycles. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Bye-bye.